Hello everyone, I am Mulbre and welcome to First Class Escape, the Train of Thought, made by Zero Deer Soft Partnership, and we have played one of their games before. It was a heist. We were robbing somebody's house, but this time we're on a train and I guess we're just trying to get from one end to the other. Start from the beginning here. Because the cool thing about this is you can just start over from whichever chapter you want. But I will say, I did try to play this the other day, and there is an option in the settings to have the train be stationary or have the train be moving. And I was like, oh, you know what? We'll have the train be moving. We'll have the nice little aesthetics. I got so nauseous that I got, I don't remember what else here, but I got through the tutorial and I was like, nope. I was done. I was so sick. So I do know a little bit to get us going here, like how to move and, the little Zero Deer statue. So we're going to be looking for those collectibles. And there is quite a few of them. Oh, the two that I found are already here. Nice. All right. Hopefully they'll let us redo the puzzles. Chapter 0, the tutorial. Do you remember there's instructions here? Go ahead and bring these instructions over. And I'm just going to put them a little bit of lag right there. I do remember there's... Gotta get that key right there. That sneaky little hidden key. There's a note here telling us what the code is. Put that there. This key goes to the padlock. We can do that. And then the other thing was behind this chair. Oh, no, give me the note. Okay, there we go. This is for the suitcase. 5971. Five, 9, 7, 1. Of course, you have to click and drag to open up things, which that did kind of throw me for a pretty hard loop. Was the click and dragging. And then we do have to unscrew the bolts, which I think is an interesting touch. And then, yeah, we're just kind of dismantling everything, which I appreciate that. Okay, so for the safe, because we're kind of, I guess, speed running at this point, the tutorial. Here's the instructions if you want to pause and read them. But what it is saying is we do counterclockwise, and then we actually do the reverse of the counterclockwise. And then this gives us the code. And then it's like, oh, I think he put it in incorrectly. Okay. So if I recall correctly, it will be 1, 7, 3, 9. And then we can open it. Why they had the instructions be that complicated, I don't know. But they were working with the double negatives, basically. And then we have to open this. And that. And now we're on to the next section. This is the section where I got super sick. But I'm feeling much better today. Books to remember. That is nice. You know, this is such a weird thing to say, but honestly, this is giving such VR chat vibes. I haven't played VR chat in so long, and I have thousands of hours in that game. Like, I was one of those people. And so just whenever I come across any, I think it's the graphics specifically that are doing it. So in this first cabin here, we have a chest. This I did not figure out yet. I'm not So there's a button here that I'm not entirely sure what this button does. And then each one of these dials does something different. Okay, so right now everything is lined up, but it's facing the wrong direction. Because if I understand this lock correctly, we basically need to remove the pin, which is what's going to allow us to lift the lid because it'll free the chain. Anything back here that'll help? Can I just get the wrench and like unbolt it? No, I think the door's locked. If I wanted the wrench, I should have brought it with. I was out gardening and I had my phone in my pocket. And now it's upset with me. What's in here? Is there any collectibles? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to squat down. Oh, but there was a purse here. Ah, a key to the library cabinet. And we also have a book, R.J. Wentworth, Advanced Principles of Comprehensive Literary Analysis. Oh, a little bit of lag. Okay, what was the cabinet? Not this. I don't think it was this. There's a book. Ah, more papers. That's there for now. I do know this is part of the puzzle. Ooh, a key. Cabin number 3. In any case, if you missed the news, Lord MK came up with a challenge for the guests, in which they need to find his favorite author's books that are in our collection and place them in that weird device in the corner of the library, reordering them based on their publishing dates. In order to make this challenge interesting, he also came and personally moved the books around. So if you see any of J.P. Ironzo's works, or any books that are under his pseudonyms, in questionable or unorthodox locations, leave them there. So basically, we're on this train, and I guess we are a guest of the train's owner, and we are trying to solve his puzzles. We need to find his books in unorthodox locations, which just means odd, in odd locations. Unusual, strange. Gotta look up, gotta look down. I think there should have been... Oh, this is to help us find the order. Although Ironzo gained some fame with his earlier works, his real breakthrough happened in the form of his so-called Slaver Trilogy. Starting with A Mile in Slaver's Shoes, the trilogy depicts the life of the misadventures of a slaver. And this is part of a trilogy, so this is the one of 3. All of the novels in the trilogy are written as comedies, with the last one sometimes being described as a tragic comedy. Ironzo is often criticized for his depiction of slavery in these novels, with some of his contemporary critics going as far as to call them reprehensible, absolutely disgusting, morally corrupt, and utterly depraved. Despite the critical reception of the trilogy being less than warm, it was nonetheless a major commercial success, with the first 2 books having sold over 100,000 copies by the time the 3rd book was published in 1838. It is, to this day, Ironzo's best-selling book series, with none of his other works selling even half the copies. Well, as much as it, sucks, that kind of stuff does tend to, people want the drama. But the 3rd book was published in 1838. And this criticism was actually quite a few years after. It was 5 years after the last book was published. And then we have a book here, R.J. Wentworth. Saying nothing with as many words as possible. Oh, there's a stool here. Give me a book. Oh, wait, hold on. I thought I saw. No. Okay. Here's one. A Mile in a Slaver's Shoes. So, this is the first book of his trilogy. Looking for collectibles. Yeah, this game can be multiplayer, so if you've got multiple people. Which, did we find the cabinet? I don't think we found the cabinet. There's a library cabinet. Also, there was stuff on the other side here. JP, 4 smoking barrels. Can I open this door? No, it's locked. Alright, let's see what's in that third room. A walking stick! Or a whacking stick. Oh, we have a book that somebody tried taking. The Manifestation of Greater Intellect by R.A. Costow. I did see a piece of paper, so we are going to go back for that piece of paper. And of course, we're going to double check. Ooh, collectible. We got a collectible. Little deer sitting down. You know, as somebody who loves horror stories, I see the deer and it's like, I know it's supposed to be super cute, but at the same time, I'm just like, it reminds me of not deer. So we have a book, How to Amputate a Cursed Hand. It was kind of hidden back here by K.B. Goffredo. Oh yeah, having that movement turned off. This is the point where I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, actually, it was earlier that I was nauseous, but it was this. Anyways, after his rocky start with boat repairs, Ironzo gained some fame with his second book, How to Cross the Ocean in a Rowboat, published in 1832. Okay. 1832. But boat repairs was number 1. It features the nautical theme that Ironzo is known for, while lacking all of the morally questionable content that is prevalent in his later works. How to Cross the Ocean in a Rowboat is a tragic comedy that details the experiences of a man who wishes to journey across the Atlantic in a rowboat. The life of the man starts falling apart as he begins to obsessively prepare for his journey. As the story progresses, the protagonist's wife leaves him. He gets infected with various illnesses and eventually gets evicted. The book ends with the man suffering a heart attack on his way to the rowboat. Okay, but like, seriously though, that sounds like something they would make us read in high school. like that definitely sounds like one of those books that would be high school, read in a high school class. Do we have any of those books? So we have Smoking Barrels, A Mile in a Slaver's Shoes. Okay. The Advanced Principles. Saying nothing. Get me a drink. evolution of a nation, the manifestation of greater intellect. Alright, I am definitely missing books. I am missing a lot of books. This should be getting on the ground. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Oh, this is R.A. Costello. How to repair a boat with the deductive method. Alright, we do have 2 books by this guy. Which wasn't there a piece of paper I've been avoiding reading? Somewhere. Because I know he has an alias. That one's got a title. Oh, it's not in English. Oh, How to Exorcise a Cursed Idol by K.B. Alfredo. Here we go, J.P. Ironzo, How to Cross the Ocean in a Rowboat. That was the second one. The first one is boat repairs. Oh, here's one. I have been accused of various crimes. Alright, I gotta find that piece of paper that I keep saying that I keep being like, I'm not gonna read that. I read that one. Oh dear. I've lost a piece of paper. I do need to get into this somehow, though. Yeah, this one flips all of them except one. Okay, this has them lined up except 2. Okay, this has all lined up except 2. I guess I'm having a hard time seeing what the pattern is supposed to be for understanding how to solve this. I don't even know what this button does. Can I just break the box? Can I just break the box? Oh my goodness. And you know, the thing is we probably need a book from out of that box. I am willing to bet that that is exactly what needs to be done. Okay. This was not the piece. This is just telling us who his favorite author is. Okay, it is not well known that J.P. Ironso returned to writing after his seemingly stopped in the 1850s, due to the immense negativity his later works received. Ironzo abandoned his own name and began writing again in 1860s under the alias R.A. Costal. His works under this pseudonym were not commercially success, but they received notable critical praise, with his last book, How to Repair a Boat with the Deductive Method. How to Repair a Boat with the Deductive... Okay, this is the very last one. Which means this could be the second to last. And I'm looking and there's like symbols on the spines. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're missing a book and I'm betting that book is in that chest. Did it tell us what... Yeah, okay, so the book that's missing, the one that he had in order, because the note that I didn't read out loud is them saying that they had a book on order. I'm fairly certain that is going to be book 1. And that is the rowboat one, which then means these 3 books are the trilogy. And we have here one that says 1848, 1861. That's 1861. 1 of 3 is a mile in shoes. The third one was 18. I have 38, but this one's 48. Then how is this 1861? Because it said he stopped. He didn't write under that name in 1861. So we can do that. We are missing the first book. And I guarantee it's in that chest. I guarantee it. Oh, hold on. I think I have it. Oh my gosh. I have it. Oh. Oh, that scared me. I don't know why that was like, oh my goodness. I can't believe I freaking got it. Oh, good luck to anyone trying to use this for answers. The Slaver's End. Anything else in here of note? Some wine. No, we do have a Slaver's End. But that means none of these are boat repairs. Okay. I know for certain in the trilogy, a mile goes first. And how to cross the ocean definitely comes before this one. Boat repairs, however, was his very first book. Then we have How to Repair a Boat with the Deductive Method. Is definitely the last one. Last book. And the only other one by R.A. Costal is this one. That means they have to go here and here. Guess we could try this way. Because this is 1861. Oh, that's a different name. Okay, this isn't even part of the book series. So we're still missing a book. Do I still have the library key? Key to library cabinet. Oh, here's a book. 12 Years a Slaver. Locked. Okay, he stopped in the 1850s. There we go. Picked up the library door key. Alright, I'm going to assume we did everything we needed and that one of these was the... I'm guessing this was the cabinet. Great. Looking for hidden objects. Ooh, a little cart. Any hidden deer in here? No. Fine dining. Alright, we got a menu. Ooh, lots of drawers to open. For any collectibles. Gotta love those deductive skills just to start opening cabinets. Well, I guess let's see what the puzzle is. Ooh, a cheese board. Oh, we can get right through that door. Okay, here is the lock. So we have to get into this cabinet, which looks like it requires a key. So we need to find a key. But we have a book here. 14 to 1937. Uneventful night except for a small mishap, the details of which Steve asked me to leave out. You're welcome, Steve. February the 15th, business as usual. Lord MK and some associates went on a drinking spree towards the end of the night. So we ran out of some of our wines. We need to remember to restock them ASAP. February 16th, pretty normal day, except for that thing with the snobby food critic. He asked for our best vintage of Everlast. Unfortunately, we had run out of it, so I just brought him a different vintage, thinking he wouldn't notice. He wasn't happy about it at all. Not at all. After berating me for a while, he finally calmed down and asked me to just bring him whatever was the finest we had available. So I brought him a bottle of our best vintage of Colbert, and that seemed to satisfy him at least. You know, don't you just hate it when people leave out all the juicy gossip? Like, how could you do that to us, Steve? Lovely painting. Alright, we have another suitcase, so another 4 combination. I, after some digging, finally figured out a way to get my hand on the contract papers. Supposedly, Lord MK is foolish enough to use his year of birth as the code to his various suitcases, so all I need to do is find out when he was born. Easy, right? Not quite. Evidently, his date of birth is not public knowledge, and all of the people I have so far asked about it don't either know or aren't willing to tell me. I'm sure it is just a matter of time until I find out, so I'm not too worried. Well, we do have that code written down from earlier. No, we don't. No, we don't. We do not have that written down. I have a sneaking suspicion we're not going to be able to get back there. Oh. Oh. Okay, we need to find a price of something. locked. I am a key short, quite a few things short. Oh, I thought it was a key, but it's an opener. Oh, there's an electrical box over here. Oh, a violin. This is where the food critic was sitting. 1874. Well, write that down. Chair's knocked over. A sandwich? That's not where sandwiches go. Well, we've gotten one number so far. Just one. And there's only one spot where we could really put a number into. And that was this suitcase. Now, here's the thing. While we don't really know how old this guy is, we know that his birth year is most likely going to start with a 1. So if we know his birth year starts with a 1, and we can also assume, oh gosh, I was going to assume we could start with an 8. Oh, there we go. His birth year is 1870. What I was getting at was I was going to start brute forcing it and go through it year by year by year, because we have a pretty good guess how old this guy isn't and how old he could be. Oh, just says contract, but it's too blurred out. All right, we now have a file. Oh, it's a screwdriver. Okay, there was a couple more things to use the screwdriver on. We use it on the door. We use it on a bottle. Oh, here's a menu. I think we have to ring up the price for that wine. Okay, we'll get back to that. But first. Okay, so this doesn't work there. Was there somewhere else I needed a screwdriver? No, it does not work here. Alright, well, I was all excited there for a second. Okay, we know that the wine is a Mulbre 1874. And I think we brought... Would we be charging him for 2 bottles of wine or 1? It just says different vintage. We'll have to go back and read his diary, but first, let's bring up the Mulbre 1874, which is... $185.25. The 1 8 5 25. Well, will that still open even with the wrong number? Yeah, that opens up no matter what, but nothing up here is changing. Mm-mm. Let's see what this book says. I have reviewed many restaurants. The ambience is nice. So they ordered it, but the waiter brings a vastly inferior. Then he takes the wine back, and after a minute or two comes back and apologizes. Okay. I don't really see an empty bottle anywhere, though. Oops. Oh. Shifts. Monday, Steve. Tuesday, Albert. Okay. So it switches between a few different people, but Steve is Monday and Thursday. And something happened to Steve. Okay, what could we have as a vastly inferior? Okay, so if he wanted the Everlast, the most superior would have been what? $230.50? We can add on to that. Now it says $415.75. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I keep I'm hoping it would tell me what I'm trying to do with that, but well, we got into the suitcase, so we got into this case. We take these bolts off? No. But we do need to light up these bulbs. I see that's locked. Oh, there's a purse here. What's in the purse? Alright, it says, I overheard some waiters gossiping about Lord MK and his wife. Supposedly, he's 42 years older than his wife. Can you believe it? How very scandalous of him to marry someone so much younger. Okay, well, I appreciate that, but I've already figured out his age. I already brute forced that solution. But hey, now we know that he's 42 years older than his wife, I guess. Oh, dear. And we've gotten into this box. But the screwdriver does not screw this. And it looks like all of that needs to be lit up. And maybe that there's something missing. So why can't we get to the violin? That's weird. Is this? It let me pick this up. Ah, there we go. It's like it let me pick that up and it does kind of match, so I guess there's that. Can we move it? No, it just goes right there. Alright, that's still locked. That's locked. It's a nice painting. And this is still locked. Yeah, there's a violin and no sheet music. And on the floor. There's a deer bauble. Ooh, got 5 collectibles. All the lights are on. Whether or not that means anything, I don't know, but they are on. Well, I am stuck. Like, I managed to get a few things going forward. Like, we got the screwdriver, so I figured out his age, but that really only let us get into one box, and we're still stuck on these other 2. Let's see what Hint Vision says. Alright, this whole area is... Oh, there's a note here. This whole area is lit up. Okay. During my shift last night, I got into talking with Steve during some downtime about Lord MK's most recent marriage. If Steve is to be believed, Lord MK's latest bride is only 22 years old. After I expressed my disbelief to Steve, he assured me that he was not making stuff up. I don't know. You never can tell with these things when it comes to Steve, though I suppose it didn't seem like he was pulling my leg this time. Okay, everything is trying to get me to figure out the age. I figured out the age. I've gotten into the box. I've done the thing. Like, I appreciate that, but I've already done that. I don't need any more hints. Oh, there's another one of these things. Okay. So we've gotten 2 of these. I don't even know what you'd call them. But there's 2 of them. We're just gonna keep doing Hint Vision until I get somewhere. Okay, well, as far as the game's concerned, we are done with this section of the train. We are very much locked into this area of the train. And this whole thing is absolutely glowing. Oh, there's a key here to the electrical cabinet. Got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. This whole time that key was right there. Okay, so we need to get the current from one end to the other. So let me go get the little bauble. I think that bauble is, I don't know if it needs to be there permanently, but we'll see. Oh, I'm betting that's what's going to be in those drawers is the other bauble. Oh my gosh. Alright, so we're trying to get it so that way it lights up this other bulb. That's not too hard. Okay. That does not reach there. Okay. Yeah, that gets us all the way to the top. Kind of makes that actually makes kind of a loop. And then we'll go up and over. There we go. That's all lit up. Can we take this back? No, we have to leave it. Okay. We have to leave that there to get that lit up. So we can still do this second electrical box. We just have to take this back. And I believe this is going to be much of the same. It's kind of a fixed position. The interesting thing about this puzzle is it's actually a lot of this is in fixed positions. There's only so many places items can go. Alright, this one is sort of a three-way, but despite being a three-way, it doesn't actually connect. That doesn't connect there either. So this can only connect this way. Means this can connect down here. There we go. Had to do a little bit of reverse engineering on that one. So now we've got our electrical boxes, which means this is where we're going to get our third bauble from, and somewhere in here. Oh my goodness. You know, no one's ever accused me of being smart. But definitely stubborn. I have been accused of being stubborn. I will take that for what it's worth. Oh, it's a little drain. It's got to be something to do with this. Whether it's finding the missing gear or doing some math. Because it does... The thing is it adds. It doesn't subtract. It goes back to 0. Alright, hint vision. You know, everything is manifesting over here, but specifically this cabinet is this... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Since so many of you seem to have forgotten about it, and I'm tired of reminding you lot about it, I thought it better just to write this note. The backup key is in the hidden compartment of the cash register. All you need to do to open it is to ring up the prices of our 2 best wines, and the secret drawer will open instead of the normal one. That's all. As long as the total price is correct, it doesn't actually matter if you bring up the 2 wines. If you ring up the 2 wines or something else. And no, I'm not going to tell you which wines or vintages those 2 are. If you don't know even such basic information, you shouldn't be working here in the first place. Okay, so it was something to do with the prices, but the 2 best wines were the 1874 Colbert, which we know is $185.25, and what he wanted was an Everlast, the finest Everlast on their menu, which should be that $230 price, because that's going to be the most expensive. Yeah, the $230.50. All right, so let's clear it out. So we're gonna do $185.25. Plus the $230.50. Oh, I'm betting the secret compartment is this one right here. Okay. Oh, I think I'm 5 cents off, or 5 cents over. Hold on. They did say we could brute force this, so if we know for certain that the minimum price is going to be $300, okay? So if we know for certain it's going to start at 300, all right, we could, from there, go up by... their prices do... There is one that has a 1 in it, but we're gonna say that's not really a factor. Let me look at their most expensive wines. Yeah, they all end in 5s. There is one here that's 377, but... Well, I guess there could be an issue with him not knowing what the finest wine is. Although if the finest of the white wine is the 377.50. Anyhow, my plan was to sit here and do this. So if we have the 5 cents here, then we could do this one at like 1. Oh, oops, I messed up. There. And then we can literally raise it by $1.05. I don't know how they got this number. I don't know where this came from, but this is apparently the solution. 386.24. Because how did they even get the 24? Well, I guess if it was a 99 plus a 50, that would... No, that wouldn't come out to 24 either. Oh, a 99 plus a 25. So it was one of the 99s plus a 25. Which would mean the Colbert 1874. So we had that one. We had that one. So if we kind of reverse this a little bit, because yes, I looked it up. There is no shame in taking advantage of the all-powerful and amazing and smart nerds that exist on YouTube to find the solutions. We have 386.24. So we know for certain one of them is the 185.25 because that's the only way to get the 24, which means we have 99 cents. Chop that down, so that becomes 0, 0, 299. Everlast, 1880. Why specifically the Everlast 1880? Did they have a menu somewhere? That I could, I mean, obviously, yes, there's the one menu I could look at, but... Because technically, wouldn't the 1875 Everlast be better? Or no, that's the one that's missing. Oh, I get it now. Okay. I get it now. It was the two wines that the guy wanted, and the one was sold out. That's what he wanted. Okay, so I could have worked that out to figure out which one. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we have the key now. And we can open up these drawers. And that's one we can't read. Oh, a little plug. And it's locked. So we're still stuck. Because I haven't found another one of those things. Oh. And the wine. Yay, chapter 2. And we're lagging right off the bat. Yeah. Yeah, I do need to find where my other camera, my other Logi camera went. That way I can show I've always wanted to show my notes while doing this stuff. So okay, hold on a second. Locked? Oh, did I do the wrong puzzle? Did I actually get further than this? Locked. Or is this the way I came from? Oh, I think this is the way I came from. Okay. Okay. So this is the next puzzle. So we have room 04. All right. Now that I've dusted off the rest, we need to first figure out where we're going and what we need to do, what the goal here is. And ultimately the goal is to get, I guess, to the front of the train. All right. So this is the door that's locked and it has an interesting combination. So it looks like it's not alphabetical, and each dial seems to have, I think, the same letters. So we're forming either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, either 6 two-letter combinations or 2 6-letter-long words. Oh, there's stuff behind us. All right, let's check this out. I finally got around to installing that new lock with the keypad. Since Arthur didn't tell me what I should set the code to, I just set it to 7654321. If the code needs to actually be a secret, then all you need to do is just come and ask me and I can change it to something else. Frank. Frank is the guy who set up that really annoying safe thing at the very beginning. And then we had another note. Concerning the delivery of food and drink to passenger cabins. Generally speaking, when a passenger requests something, you are not expected to deliver the food yourself. Instead, the correct thing to do is to ask one of the waiters to handle the delivery. The only exception is when no waiters are available, or when the only waiter available is Steve, in which case you just handle it yourself. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting that they would feel the need to say that. I wonder if we're going to dig up some dirt. Or at least gossip. Some tea. Would it be pour some tea? think we're gonna pour some tea. To our new employees, sometimes our guests might have some unusual requests. So, if you are ever faced with a request you are unsure about, please talk to Arthur about it. Furthermore, you are generally expected to consult him concerning any problems you might face while working here. However, if there is something urgent and Arthur is indisposed at the moment, then you should bring the matter directly to me. H.W. Hirschfeld. Oh. Okay, that sounds concerning. I mean, if you combine this, unusual requests usually means something insidious, whatever the word is. Combine it with this, basically saying that don't deliver stuff to passengers, have one of the waiters do it. That's kind of cause for concern. And it makes you wonder what some of these passengers are on. Alright, so 9 is locked. Oh, 8 is locked. Alright, let's check the door here real quick. On there, because they tricked us last time. There was stuff on the door. Alright, I guess this is a ringer. We have a hanging clasp purse, 2 pairs of shoes, and both shoes are heeled. Whatever that means anything. Oh, can I take your stuff? I can't zoom in on it though. But your trunk, your chest, your suitcase. Oh. Oh my, that has a big cutout. Anything in here? We are also trying to keep an eye out for collectibles. So 2 pairs of shoes and 2 dresses. Bit of a nightstand situation. A letter that doesn't concern me. A wine cabinet. Oh, that's interesting. So the wine and the cups go in there. That's cool. Open and close the doors. That's fun. I'm like, this is a perfect place for them to hide a deer statue. Alright, let's look at the thing we're supposed to look at. Dear sister, thank you for your kind words. I assure you I am in high spirits despite the few setbacks I have experienced during my journey. I look forward to seeing you again once I return in a few weeks. I will be sure to give your best wishes to Aunt Rose. Please give my best regards to everyone. Yours faithfully, Mary. So Mary has had a few setbacks, and she penned a letter to her sister, but she has not sent the letter to her sister. But we know that Mary is in room 8. Whatever that means. So we'll write that down. Room 7. Oh, room 7 is available. And I'll assume based on the shoes, this is a gentleman. I have a book open. The lady staying in the room next to mine, Miss Roscoe, seems to be a pretty interesting woman. So the room next to his seems to be a pretty interesting woman. I talked to her today, and from what I gathered, she seems to be traveling alone. I did not want to be impolite, so I did not barrage her with too many questions about the purpose of her journey, but from what I understood, she seems to be traveling to meet a relative of hers, or something similar. 4/2/1934. Harry invited me to a drinking party he and Lord MK are planning on having tomorrow. I wonder how many others are joining us. Also, I'm not entirely sure why, but there is like a weird text change, like font change. So Harry and everything else is the same font, but invited is a different font. And I'm not entirely... There's also like weird gaps on either side. My suitcase is missing, probably stolen by one of the other passengers while I was out drinking last night. Fortunately, the train manager seems like a competent fellow who can sort out this type of matters, so I am not too worried. It looks like this took course over 3 days. So he met Miss Roscoe on the 13th, got invited to a party on the 14th, and had his suitcase stolen on the 16th. So the party was on the 15th, but Harry and MK invited him to a party. So we know that there was a man in his room. And we need to look for Harry and MK because they might know what his name. I mean, they're definitely going to know what his name was. And I feel like that is important. We're being led to find these names. Dear Mr. Everly, we sincerely apologize for the disappearance of your suitcase, and we assure you that we are currently performing an in-depth search to locate it. Unfortunately, as our passengers' privacy is of utmost importance, we cannot perform the search as efficiently as we otherwise might. But I must ask you for some patience concerning this matter. Sincerely, Arthur Burke, Train Manager. Alright, so we know that room 7 is Mr. Everly, and we know that Arthur Burke is the train manager, so we'll actually take note of that as well. Burke. Because out of everything we've found so far, it's all been to share names. Alright, and there's a staff only, but it's a keypad. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, that worked. Interesting. So we have more twine. There is a note here which we'll read in a second. Oh, a couple of keys. The key to cabin 6 and the key to cabin 9. All right, so we got 6 and 9, and 3 keys were already taken. So, Lord MK has once again come up with another nonsense idea and has decided to change the lock at the end of the passenger section to a new combination lock. To open it, you must enter the initials of current passengers, starting with the initials of the person staying in room 9 at the top and proceeding downwards in order. No, I don't know where he keeps getting these ideas, but it's our job to deal with his nonsense regardless. Fortunately, the door should be kept unlocked most of the time, so we most likely won't need to mess with the lock. Oh my gosh. So we do need the names. Okay. Yay. I'm kind of proud of myself for picking up on that. I was like, this episode, this adventure being trapped on a train, I'm going to get this. And okay. So I'm going to write that down. So to open it, you need to enter the initials, starting with the initials of the person staying in room 9. But we know that Mary, so MR is the second combo. And we're going to go get that name. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter as long as I know that his name begins with an H. We just need to figure out which room he's in. Or Harry could be the guy who does the who set the combination to 1, 2, 3, 4. We did get some keys. We got 9, so let's go to room 9 and room 6. Perfect. There's nothing on the back of the door. Okay. This looks like a gentleman's room. This is such a nice dresser. Knockdown hanger. He's got some vests. Vests look so good on a man, honestly. Actually, vests really just look good on everyone. So this is number 9. I ran into Miss Shelley today. Turns out she happened to be on this train too. Evidently she got married since we last met or something. Unfortunately, I was a bit busy, so we didn't have too much time to talk. I was chatting with Arthur today, and he told me something quite interesting. It seems that there has been a theft of some kind on the train, and he has been tasked with solving it. Poor guy. I can't imagine that he's going to have an easy time since most passengers on this train seem to be quite strict about their privacy. So we know that there is a Miss Shelley, and that is going to be a first name. And we know that she is not room 9. And we obviously know she's not 8 or 7. And then Arthur is the train manager. But we can assume that he is not this isn't the guy who stole the suitcase. I mean, nobody signs a journal, but... Well, actually, I guess it is pretty standard to sign a journal, but it's usually like in the front where you'll write something like, this book belongs to blank. Ah, there's something down here. I have a meeting tomorrow with Lord MK and one of his friends. According to Lord MK, this friend of his and I have some shared business interests we should talk about. I'm not expecting much out of this meeting, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. So he has a hidden note under his shoes about a meeting with somebody. Okay. But that's about it. And this is room 6. So we don't know who is in room 9, but we know that room 9 is a man. So I'll write that down. It looks like 6 is also going to be a man. Yeah, suitcase. There is stuff to read, but I'm gonna open up all this first. There's a suspicious lack of... Is that another letter? Hey, there is another hidden letter. But I was just saying there's a suspicious lack of collectibles, and I feel like I'm missing stuff. This is room 6. I met the fellow staying at the room next to mine. From what I gathered, he was a mathematician or something. I think he told me his name, but I do not quite remember it since I was not really paying attention. He seemed pretty oblivious, so it might be fun to scam him somehow, though I suppose I'm a bit occupied with my other pursuits right now. Which, why any scammer would write that down? Dear Mr. Farley, we are certainly interested in your business proposal. An associate of ours will contact you upon arrival at the next station. Cordially, Alexander Wraithmore. This looks like it was sent to him. I think this is I think this room is Farley. And then the previous room, the one where he was like, I have business. I think that was room 9. So we might be able to assume that room 9 is Alexander. Yeah, I'll just write down Alex Wraith. I think Alex Wraith is in room 9 because he was saying he had business with somebody. Oh yeah, the lack of collectibles is really concerning. Alright, we did have this suitcase here. Dear Mr. Everly, we are most pleased that you have accepted our invitation. Should you have any questions pertaining to your meeting with Lord MK, feel free to send a letter before you board. Sincerely, H.W. Hirschfield. He's the one whose suitcase was stolen. So this is the stolen suitcase. Because there is a suitcase right here. But this doesn't tell us his name. Yeah, I just want to double check that I had the right room. It wasn't... Yeah, it was this one. So 9 had the proposal. Six had their suitcase stolen. So 7. Excuse me, 7 is definitely Everly because his suitcase was stolen. And 6 has the man's suitcase. So this is 5. 5 we've already decided was a man. Oh yes, he's got the wine right in there. That's cute. Ah, there's a key in the shoe. Room key to cabin 4. Okay. We finally boarded the train today. The day was otherwise pretty uneventful. I am looking forward to meeting Lord MK eventually, but I hear he is pretty busy, so it might be a few days before I get to sit down and really talk with him. I got to chat with Mr. Hirschfield today. He is certainly a fine fellow. Evidently, he and Lord K have some sort of party planned for tomorrow. I think they are planning on having it at the bar or something. Today, I spoke to the shifty-looking man staying in the room next to mine. I think his name was Isaac something or rather. We did not talk for too long since he seemed to be pretty absent-minded and I did not want to bother him. Okay. So Farley, we decided. So Isaac is his name. Alright, we're going to underline Isaac because we know for certain. We're going to underline Mary because we know that's for certain. And we know that's for certain Everly. But we're still looking for a Shelley. And if Mr. Hirschfield was the one who was hosting the party with MK, we actually know Hirschfield's first name too. I think it was like Henry or Harry. Not this one. Okay, so Harry Hirschfield. Or Hirschfeld. Okay, so we know his first name. Whether or not that is important. And now we have the key to cabin 4, which Wyatt was in that man's boot. Oh. There's a note. My dearest wife, I have the backup key to your room hidden in one of my shoes in my room. So if you ever need it, you know where to find. Oh! These two are married. We did not find out his name. Well, that explains the key in the shoe. Alright, so these two will have the same last name. 4 and 5. Dear Mother, William and I boarded the train today. I will probably only be able to send this letter once the train next stops, so do not be surprised if it took a long time to reach you. Anyways, our journey has been going well so far, except for the delay. Based on what I heard, it was caused by an avalanche or something. Fortunately, we are not in too much of a hurry, so it did not bother us too much. I will probably write you again once we reach our destination. Forgive my sister and everyone else back home. Oh, please give my sister and everyone else back home my regards. Your loving daughter, Eleanor. Oh, I see. If Shelley could have been her last name instead of her first name. So it was Miss Shelley, but she was married, so she would no longer be Miss Shelley. She would be Eleanor, followed by the other name, which... Is it Harry? It could be Harry. My husband and I finally boarded MK's train today. Evidently, the delay had been caused by an avalanche, which has damaged the train tracks. It took them a few days to fix the tracks because of the isolated location of the train at the time. I did not have much time to get to know the other passengers yet, but they seemed amicable so far at least. What a wonderful surprise! One of the other passengers on this train just so happens to be my childhood friend Albert. How long has it been since I last met him? It must have been over 15 years ago. I was not even married yet back in those days. Well, anyways, we talked for a bit and he told me that he has become a sales consultant for some important company and that he is here on a business trip. We did not talk long, but it was nice to meet him anyhow. Oh, it would be Albert. Albert Everley. But we don't know her or her husband's last name. Unless we assume that this Hirschfield the distinct lack of clues is very upsetting. Alright, we've gotten into every single room. We do have a few initials. And there's a pendant there, but I don't know if that pendant means anything. Oh, there's a letter right here. Dear Mr. Kingsley, we cordially invite you and your wife on a trip on Lord M.K.'s esteemed luxury train. You can board the train when it next stops at Wilkestone the 11th of February. If you have any questions, please send them our way as soon as possible. Signed, H.W. Hirsch. Okay. Oh, Kinsley! Eleanor Kinsley. Okay. Eleanor Kinsley. Which means his name will also be last name Kinsley. So what I think we know for certain is that room number 9 is A.W. Room 7 will be A.E. Room 6 is I.F. Room 5 and room 4 both end with K, but room 4 has EK. So assuming those things are correct, I could potentially brute force the puzzle solution by simply guessing what his name begins with. But that would require everything else to be correct. Alright, starting with room 9. A.W. M.R. A.E. I.F. And then we'll skip to the bottom and do E. K. Then we'll go back up one. Get the K in place. Alright, let's work on this backwards then. We will start with room 4. Just to double check my work. Alright, we are fairly confident that Eleanor William. Her husband's name is William. Okay. Let me go put W in and see if... I mean, I did flip through all of them, but... Let me just put that in. Maybe I have to zoom out. I imagine at some point developers gotta get tired of of us trying to brute force puzzles. Okay, so we'll switch this to W. Alright, I am super confident that Eleanor and William Kinsley is correct. So I think EK and WK is for certain correct. Did she say the name of her childhood friend, or did she just say that he was her childhood friend? Let me see real quick if she actually says his name. Albert. I said Albert Everley was in room 7. Albert is not room 7. I don't know if that makes much of a difference since they both begin with A. I think Albert was actually room 9. Yes, Albert is room 9. And we know that for a fact, Mary Roscoe is in room 8. Like, that is undeniable. And then we know for a fact Everly is in 7. That is also undeniable. So what I could do is I mean, they both begin with A, so it doesn't make a difference to swap that around. But the other names we have is an Isaac Farley. So we could swap Farley with Wraith. We could swap that around to do like AF in the beginning and then AW where the F is. That might change things up a bit. AF in the first one, and then where the F is, do a W. Okay, so we know that S is not an option. So we know that for certain her previous last name is not even on the wheel. We know Eleanor Kingsley. I'm very confident. Kinsley. And then we know her husband is William. Because she said her and William showed up. I'm very confident with William Kinsley. So the bottom two are definitely EK and WK. I am like, without a margin of doubt, positive. And then I'm also positive that MR is correct. Yeah, I'm very confident with MR. The only gaps that I have is room 6's full name, the first name of room 7, and the last name of room 9. I think his last name is Farley. So it would be IF. And the problem with that is that means nothing has changed. Oh, there's one. It was under the hat. Yay, I got a collectible. I look in here. More wine. He has a lot of hats. You're Mr. Kinsley. H.W. Hirschfeld. Hirschfeld? That's how we got his last name, Kinsley. Where did I get the name Alex from? Like, now I'm confused where Alex even came from. That's telling me about the lock. Okay, Everly is this room. Number 7. The lady staying in the room next to mine, Miss Roscoe, seems to be pretty interesting. Harry invited me to a drinking party. My suitcase is missing. This is where we got the name Mary from. Hers was pretty simple. Like, it was just those 2 pieces of information to get MR. Miss Shelley was chatting with Arthur. And there has been a theft. Okay, we already got... Where in the world did I get the name Alex from? I think this is where I got the Wraithmore from. Because if he had business interests, then he could have sent a letter to the guy. But this is assuming everything else is accurate. Oh my god. Why did that scare me? This happened the last time the other lock solved too. Like, it freaking jump scared me too. Okay. So, thanks to brute forcing it, we know that the first room was AH. We know his name begins with an H, and we know that Everly's name begins with a B. I don't even have anything written down that could possibly... Yeah, I don't even know where those came from, so maybe they intended for my brute forcing method. But I do want to take a note down whether or not this, just for like lore purposes, maybe. We know that Alexander Wraithmore Esquire, okay, hired by AW. I'm so gonna forget what that means, but oh my goodness. That legitimately gave me a jump scare. Alright, we're looking for collectibles. The mechanical conundrum. And I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll because the last cart I was able to get through so much easier than the first couple cars. Like, you know, really getting that the rust knocked off. Now I just gotta find my words. Here we have paper. Okay. So we've left the private quarter. Oh. There's a book with blurry letters. Right? I know I haven't been doing too good on collectibles, so still gotta keep an eye out for those. Staff only. Well, I think I'll do what I did last time and sort of work my way. Ooh. There's a key. Challenge room key. Okay, sorry, I was getting distracted. I'm gonna go to the end and then sort of work my way backwards. Figure out what it is exactly I need to do. Get out of here, and then we'll figure it out from there. Oh my goodness, but there's so much to look at. Okay. Oh, we can go right through this door. So there's 2 cars again. The last couple puzzles have also been 2 cars. Oh, it's a little piano concert area. Okay. Ooh. Lots of stuff to look at. Locked. Alright, it looks like there's a key thing, but maybe we have to slot stuff into it. Or maybe we just have to get the key. Oh, there's stuff here on the floor. Not that it'll let me pick it up. Well, that's not too helpful. In the lounge car, it was a lot easier to kind of figure out what exactly it was I need to do based off of that, but looks like we have to put a... What is it? I want to say a boiler, but... Alright. We'll put this back for now. And let's work our way back this way. Oh, we can open up the piano. If we can get up there. Looking for collectibles. A collectible in there? No. Oh, this book can be picked up. Piano for Dummies. Chapter 1. The Basics. Pianos have keys, some white and some black. Thank you. Each key is denoted by a letter. When you press a key, it makes a sound. The keys are split into octaves. Each octave's lowest note is C and highest note is B. Each octave has a number associated with it. These numbers increase from left to right, with the number of the leftmost octave being 1. The letter of the key and the number of the octave can be combined to refer to a specific key on the piano. For example, C3 refers to the C key of the 3rd octave. Interesting. Can we put our book here? Oh, the piano is locked. Okay. We can open something here. Interesting. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it says from the left to right, with the leftmost being 1. The leftmost would be 1C. 2D, 3E, And I think it just goes all the way up. I love how you can smash on a piano and make anything sound nice. Well, I imagine we'll open that at some point, but we need to know what exactly. I bet it's looking for a specific combination in a specific order. Like it's not going to be just one key. Okay, nothing in there. Oh, this picture's actually signed. Joham Bandas? Well, that's a name. Collectible. Hide them in plain sight. Oh goodness, they don't take pity on me. Oh, we just took the cloth off and we can put it there on the floor. I'll put it right here. Maybe like hang it off a little bit. That way I know that that was pick upable. Now, what is your story? Fascinating. Oh, I see. Oh, you can just barely make out that some of these are pushed in and some of them are popped out. So I'm guessing we're trying to get all of the things pushed in. Oh, you know what? You know what this means? We can actually, if we push out, we might be able to trap some stuff in place. So like here, it does trap them in place. Okay. Okay. So right now, if I were to flip that lever, this middle one would go up. I don't want that. Okay, so everything is either on the very bottom or one row from the bottom. Okay. Okay, this piece, so two are on the very bottom now. Oh, that's right. It's because I need to lock that one down. Okay. This should do. So three are now on the very bottom. All right. That should... That'll get... Okay, that gets one more lockdown. Actually, this should do all of them. That did it! That's all of them! This one was actually a lot more straightforward. What did it do? Oh, there was something here on the side. Was that there before? 3856? I didn't investigate if that was there before. I'm going to assume that that wasn't there before. So wherever I find a 4-number code, I'll be ready. Which I don't think I've seen anything that wants a 4-number code. Yeah, there was nothing in here. None of these blueprints spoke of a code. So it gets to put something back together. These things can be picked up. They're very cylindrical. Oh, there's a note. The RO or R029513 version that employs the new SR278 gear system seems to have fixed most of the problems from the previous iterations had. For example, it no longer suffers from the overflow problem that the R0 had. Additionally, the new gear system removes the design flaw that caused both the SR276 and SR277 to get stuck. While the new system allows for the correct combination to be changed relatively easily, it does suffer from a new design flaw that requires that the correct values for the two rightmost digits must add up to 11. We should probably fix it for the next iterations. Okay, so this is giving me a hint for something. That the two rightmost dials add up to 11. So it looked like there was something down there, but might have just been another gear. Oh, found a collectible. But none of these gears are grabbable. Literally the only thing on this desk beside the blueprints, which is about the piano. Oh, this is telling us that there's a hidden compartment in the piano. Hidden container locking system. Okay. Maybe that's really all it is telling us that there is a hidden compartment. Kind of strange though. I mean, imagine sitting there playing the piano and then suddenly wham, this hidden compartment opens up. Another blueprint. Oh, it's for the thing that I just solved. I already did that, but we'll put it right here. Sir Rahi? 1569. Oh, a lit candle. It's kind of out of place. Oh, hold on. I think I know what to do with the cylinders. Oh my goodness, I think I know what to do with the cylinders. Plunk. Now this one says TS1000. Perfect. Now we gotta go get the second one, which I only saw 2 over here. So the third is probably hidden somewhere. And I'll have to... Oh my gosh, I see a collectible. Hold on. Got it. Number 17. And this one's MK777. Oh, we can adjust the voltage. Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it's not. There's 3 cylinders over here. And cigars? But one is missing. Or, I mean, it's right there, but... Concerning KS, or KX. KX was designed by our engineers for the express purpose of testing the compatibilities of our various electrical components. To activate the machine, you must simply attach 3 components to it, add together their voltage requirements, and press the button at the front of the machine. For future iterations of this machine, we should prioritize increasing the maximum voltage of the device, as currently it is a major limiting factor. It would be much more convenient for us if we could simply test component capabilities without having to worry about voltage. Okay, this is the JN. I'm not entirely sure what I'm testing for. Like, I know it told me oh, there's another one. Oh. Well, this schematic is for the thing that I already solved. So this is like the engineer's car. We have 2 readable pieces of paper as well as another sword. Sir Mammon or Mammon. Component list for KX. Feel free to pause if you want to read that. It does have some voltages on here. Okay. Interesting. I'm not entirely sure what it wants from me. I mean, I found schematics. Was I supposed to have turned this on first? Or do I need to find the piano schematics and get the piano up and running? But there is also this dial thing here. Let's see what's in this. Oh, there is this thing here. Okay, this time we're going to check the sides of it. Oh, there's a lever to pull on. So here we have, oh no, these are 5. There's 5 numbers here. I was going to say we have a 4 combination, but interesting. Oh, we shouldn't touch that. There's a lot going on there. Ball of twine. And a note. Lord MK brought out some weird mechanical devices a few days ago and told us that we would get some sort of reward if we solved them. To be perfectly honest, I have never been particularly smart, and trying to figure out those machines definitely didn't make me feel any smarter. I think I somehow managed to become more confused than I was before I began. Well, I guess there's our job. Try to figure that out. That is ultimately the goal of this cart, is to figure out those puzzles. Oh, we can get into here. Challenge room, the infernal machine. Oh, this is what the key was for. So I guess that means this room isn't necessarily a oh, it's to get... It's to get this little guy. Well, let me see if this code works. 3856. Nope. Okay, there's quite a few moving parts. Okay, so this push button resets. This moves to focus on a particular number. Oh, I guess it locks a number in place. Times 7 times 2 times 0 times 4 times 10. And then we have a shifter. Perhaps another time. I'll come back and look at that, but not right now. Oh, oh, that's right. This is for the thing that has a switch. Oh, this does have a big switch on the side. Okay. I don't know what that 7 means. Alright, best not touch it. Well, I imagine this is another box where we can solve it without needing other information, and we're gonna have to just light up these bulbs. Oh, wait, hold on. There's little markers here. They're all different. So I think we have to line up this dial with the marker that moves. Oh, see? There we go. And it's lit up. You know, the person in me who's okay with breaking these things would just like forcefully hold the dial in place with my fingers. Okay, let's just move all of these back to 0 or to 1. Let's put them all to 1. Okay, so right now everything is at 1. The first dial moves 1, 2, and 4 by a single tick. Okay, dial 2 moves all 4 by a single tick. Dial 3 moves the middle 2 by 2 ticks. Dial 4 moves the right 3 by a single tick. No, it moves the fourth one by 2. And then the rightmost dial moves the first and third dial. But again, it moves the first one by 3 and the third one by 1. I mean, the one that moves them all you think would be the go-to, but it puts all of them. If I move the second dial to 8, it hard stops all of them at a single point. Oh, I had to sneeze. But maybe that's part of the trick. If I set all of them to this one point, because then that puts 3 of them in the same spot. And wasn't there a dial that moved one of them? Oh, interesting. So because of that, because they're locked into place, they're not moving like how I predicted they would. Okay. Oh, and it moves them backwards. Okay. That's why it was anchoring them so hard. I was hoping that that code I got earlier was the solution. I was like, I could do 3, 5, 8, 6 here. But no. Like, the math is there. The math is there. I'm just not getting it. Okay. The first dial moves the first, the second, and the fourth by 1. The second dial moves all of them back by 1. Third dial moves the middle 2 by 2. The third dial, or the fourth dial, does the rightmost 3 by 1. except 4 by 2. Which is good, which I need 4 to be lifted by 2. I hate that I can get all three but the fourth one. Like, I can get 3 out of 4 and it's like, ugh, come on, it's right there. It's right there. Oh my goodness, it's right there. I just need... Okay, now at this point, if I were to do this, I would get 1, 2, 4, and 4, but 3 would still not be lit up because 3 is 1 off. But I don't think any of these would adjust. Yeah, this one adjusts the third dial enough that it drops down. But then everything else needs to go up 1. Oh, there we go. There we go. That did it. Oh my goodness. Yay. So we got a ripped off scrap piece of paper, 5D5 A4. Oh, the piano. This is for the piano. But it's ripped off. Doesn't coordinate with our other code. Do we think it's just the 3? Because then I could brute force it. I could go through every 5. Or no, it would just be the 1. Right? Because wouldn't A4 be like the 4th A? Wouldn't it be this one? So the something 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Followed by D5. A4. I have no idea. Oh my goodness. I guess that leaves this thing. I imagine this will print out another piece of code. But it doesn't really help unless we know exactly what we're trying to, like, test. Like, it hasn't told us what we're trying to test. Like, I can tell that each component is for different things, but we don't know which voltage we want. We don't know which we're testing. So it says MK777 voltage 50, incompatible components, only functions if total voltage is exactly 100. then there was that other thing where it was like, must equal 11. No. Oh no, I found even more of those things. Oh. Here's the safe. The one where the last two digits, it says have to equal 11. Oh, that opened it. We're in the safe. Awesome. So that was the code we got earlier. Oh no, more piano keys. A4, E5, G5, D5. But you know what? I didn't take a close look, but it looked like there was actually another missing piece of paper. I'm surprised they didn't stick a deer in here. It looks like there's nothing else. I mean, there is some coin, but it doesn't let us take the coin. Otherwise, it'd stick it in that little coin thing that was there. Yep, there is another missing piece. I did not see anything of note. I did combine a few things into one location. I got all those blueprints into that one area. Looks like we do have a lot more vials, like IS-15, KU 111, K11, or K11, AK, A5, ER, JN, RSV. And then we have these two that we got from the other side of the train. Alright, well, one of these connects to the piano. Alright, so this one we've solved. We've gotten the answer out of this one. So I don't think we need to worry about this blueprint. And then this blueprint, what does it look to be a part of? I almost want to say it looks like it's part of the piano. Black key, white key, downshift gear. This one I solved. And then there's this thing. But this also looks like that thing I solved. So then that just leaves the piano components. Where it says model number R0789. Have an R0. Nope. Oh, okay. This is R07892, and the other one is the same thing but -2. So they are both part of the piano. I wonder if this is just to tell us that the piano had a locking mechanism. Oh, hold on. There's an S15, S17. Was there an S? Nope, none of these match up with those vials. Literally none of these match up with any of the blueprints. Because there's an R. Okay, so if we look for maybe in here. Okay, component list for KX. Okay, K11 reduces total voltage required by 20 units if used together with JN. JN adds 20 units. So JN and K11 basically negate each other. That didn't work. Okay. I don't exactly understand what the goal here is. What does this say? Concerning the KX, it was designed by our engineers for the express purpose of testing compatibilities of our various electronical components. To activate the machine, you must simply attach 3 components to it, add together their voltage requirements, and press the button at the front of the machine. For future iterations, we should prioritize increasing maximum voltage of the device. Okay. Testing the compatibility. So we need to find 3, which is what we've been doing, 3 that are compatible and add their voltages together. That's kind of the problem, right? It's getting them compatible. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too hard to see. Alright, so I have my grid made. I don't know how much this is going to help me, but using this, I now need to find... I was hoping for more information. Alright, actually, I can get a little more information because A5 is 30, and it only functions if the voltage is below 70. If we have to use 3 components, then that means A5 is not compatible with 2 higher number items. So we know that A5 is not compatible with AK because AK is 70 volts right off the bat. And then it could be compatible with MK or TS. However, the problem with that is both MK and TS are both 50, and if we have to have 3 items, then that gets us up to 130. And neither of those things reduce. So for A5, we can cross out both TS and MK. Okay. Cannot be used with TS1000 unless MK is also in use. So RVS, the problem with that is both of those also bring it up to 100 if it's used with both of those. I am like probably solving this in the wrong way, and I am trying so hard to extrapolate data from these 2 sheets of paper, and I'm not even sure if I'm going down the right path. Because there are a ton of compatible units that would equal the number, you know, any number. Because if we just pick one, let's just do PR 53. The PR is compatible with RSV, AK, JN, A5. And it has 40 volts. So if we do PR 40, and it doesn't really matter what we equal as long as it's less than 100. So let's pick another one. Did I say A5? Yeah, PR would work with A5. So if we do A5, which is 30. That brings us up to 70. So we can do anything 30 and below. So is A5 and PR both compatible with RSV? Yeah, they're both compatible with RSV. Which is 30. We're looking for PR, A5, and RSV. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, that should have done something. Because they were compatible. They're all compatible with each other. PR can be used with both A5 and RSV. A5 can be used with RSV and PR. RSV can be used with A5 and PR. Alright, let's find another compatible group. A5 is 30. K11 is 20. So that's 80. You know what? I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up. I give up. This game... Gosh, first class escape. First class escape. Train of thought. I think I'm on chapter 4. Okay. There's that puzzle. Oh my gosh, I think this person has a huge grid like me. They do! Oh, they do! Oh, they've got like they're actually using a proper like Excel spreadsheet. And they've got the voltages of everything. They've got it all written down. All right, what did they go with? I don't think they've solved it yet. I don't think they've gotten everything put together. Oh no, maybe they did. They have K11. Okay, so whatever their total was, had K11 at the end, and their total was 70. Okay. So I'm gonna start with that bit of cheat. Okay, so I actually have K11. All right, I was pretty close. I was pretty close. And whatever the total is, it's gonna be 70. And I know K11 is 20. So we need 2 other items that's gonna total up to 70. And if that's a 20, that leaves us with 50. We could try TS plus JN. Oh, that did it! That did it! Yay! Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let me find the YouTuber's name. So it looks like Frederick on YouTube. Thank you for the assist. It looks like this is the last of the piano code. Oh dear. So A4. So it starts with each octave starts with C as the high note and highest is B. So C is the lowest, highest is B. So it goes C to B. That's kind of weird. Why would it start with C? That's odd. So if we assume that C to B is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this C mark right here marks the 4. It looks like we're going to stay in this range. So if the C is 4, then that means we'd go A4, E5, G5, D5, C5, E5, E5, B4, A4, E5, G5, F5, E5, C5, D5, A4. Locked. Oh dear. C3 refers to the C key of the third octave. So this is octave 1. That's octave 1. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth octave is underneath the paper here. Okay, so the fourth octave is underneath this paper. So that's what we're going to be working with. Let's try this again. A4. This is 4. Which means this very next E is going to be the fifth range. Oh, I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. Oh my gosh, I heard it. Yay! Music car door key. I was in the wrong octave, but I did it that time. Yay! The Mechanical Conundrum complete chapter 4. Oh my goodness. All right, I need a celebratory playing on the piano. It's always fun to smack the keys. All right, that's enough. Okay, but we are on to the next train car. That was, oh, that was a lot of work. That was definitely, definitely hard. That one puzzle, I'm glad that I was on the right track. I'm definitely glad about that. But how I could have gotten to knowing that TS and JN was what I needed without getting that hint that the total was 70 would have been nearly impossible. Okay, so focusing. I do see what looks like a piece of paper right off the bat, and I haven't been doing really good on getting the collectibles. I feel like that hat is like prime collectible. It's not. Oh, that'd have been like a perfect spot to put a collectible. See, and some of these are signed and some of them aren't, but that is nice. Lovely. There is something to read right off the bat, which I guess we'll go ahead and give that a look. As it turns out, Lord MK does not use the same code for all of his suitcases. That, of course, made my life a bit more difficult than I had anticipated. Fortunately, I know him well enough to know that if combination is not his birth year, then it must be something to do with his favorite author. Armed with that knowledge, and having searched through the room hastily, I got the suitcase open quite quickly. I was quite annoyed to find out that the suitcase only contained some sort of weird note with a bunch of numbers that did not make any sense to me. Knowing him, it is probably another code or something. Unfortunately, I had to leave quite quickly and did not have enough time to figure out the note. Hopefully you'll be more successful with it than I was. Signed, I. Oh, so we have a new character introduction, somebody called I. And he's given us a clue, so we have to get into his suitcase using something to do with his favorite author, which was the guy from the, that book puzzle we had to do. So it looks like it's a 4-number code. So it could be release dates, 1832 and 1838. I mean, really, it wouldn't be that hard to figure out. If it starts with an 18, then we can kind of mess around and figure it out. Okay, it does not begin with an 18. Go to the end and see what's at the end of the cart. Because this has worked well for me, going straight to the end. Oh, it's just one train car today. Okay. And it looks like a simple key. You just need a key. Looking for collectibles. Looking for those deer statues. Thinking to myself, oh dear, puns, you know? Ooh, 1880. You know, all of these are signed. 1901. 1885, like that is really abnormal for these pictures to be signed. 1799. Oh, something readable. Concerning the paintings missing from the other list. There's another list. Any paintings missing from the other list were procured by Alexander Wraithmore and his associates, and thus I decided that it is better if they are kept on a separate list. The first one he procured for us was Viticus Men's A Painted Ship Upon a Painted Ocean, which we unfortunately had to get rid of for obvious reasons. The second one was Viticus Mines Where the River Meets the Sea, which we still have. The third one is unsigned painting in Lord MK's private cabin. I guess this is the private cabin. But it's written in a hand in a style where it's like MK did not write it himself. Oh, A Slaver's End. He was looking for this book by J.P. Aronzo. I wonder if this is a clue to the suitcase, because I don't actually know. I don't think he was looking for it. I think he did have it. So we may have to go back and figure out when that was released. But even then, that wouldn't be too hard, because I'm fairly positive it was not an 18. So if we were to make it 17 and then make that like an 8. No, it didn't. Dear Lord MK, I was indeed successful in confirming your suspicions about the unsigned painting procured for you by Mr. Wraithmore. Despite the year on the painting itself, it is in fact believed to have been painted in 1862 by the infamous novelist J.P. Aronzo. As far as the story goes, he tried his hand at painting during his break from writing. Signed H.W. Hirschfield. 1862? Well, that is a number. That is a number. But I guess his favorite author... This one? I guess his favorite author made a painting. I could see why he'd want to collect that. He seems to be pretty obsessed. 1862. Despite the extreme nature that was his book series. Oh, there we go. 1862 did the trick. So it was when that painting was made. I guess I was right, though, to be on about something about all of these paintings being signed for once. Order is everything. So 1901, 1650, 1799, 1822. And there's a coffee stain on it. All right. But here's the question. What do I even need the code for? Because I need a key. Locked. 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 Cigar case with a missing cigar. Interesting. Well, here's what we have so far. We have a fairly limited space. We have a suitcase that we opened with a code. We have a locked cabinet. And a door that needs a key. We also have mystery numbers, if I haven't said that already. And a piece of paper next to it that's not even clickable. That is strange. Why is this locked? I don't even see a way to get into it. Oh dear. Okay, maybe there's... There's something I should be able to click on that I didn't see. One of those up? No. Nothing on the chair. How about in the bookshelf? Oh. Excuse me. Picked up a suspicious key. Alright, so the key was on the bookshelf behind the chair. Let's see what else is here. Is this gonna secretly be a multiple train car puzzle? Hold on. Locked. Oh. Okay, can I move one of the paintings? Like, is a painting like a hidden... Hidden feature. Yeah, because the mouse disappears when I go over one of these paintings. What about this clock? Clocks are usually hidden compartments. Is the bookcase a hidden compartment? No, because that was solid wood. None of these paintings have a keyhole in the middle of them. That's kind of what I'm expecting is like, oh, I closed the door. Hold on. Oh, I was right. It was something with the bookshelf. Okay, so I closed the door and the key, there was a little box back there and it moved to bookcase. That explains all the books on the floor, like, because there was like this book down there. Or I guess it really doesn't explain that because it was unimportant. Order is everything. Is it the order of the books? No, because that would have required him to be alive for 300 years. Oops, I think I went too far. Yeah, I messed that up. Okay, 1. Okay, so it wasn't either of those two. Maybe I have to add them and then minus the other ones? So it adds up to 5,172. Nope, that didn't adding them together didn't do anything. Alright, let's do hint vision. Let's see what this says. Oh, there's something here that... Oh! A cupboard key. Oh, the cupboard. Alright, real quick, I want to see if there's anything out here. There is something out here. Oh, never mind, it's the cupboard. It's just leaking through. Oh my goodness, I never would have found that. Ever. Oh my... And here I was so proud of myself, like, yeah, I'm gonna look for everything. I remember, I should have known. I should have known to keep looking. List of significant paintings and their origin. John Bombas, Thea Fall, bought from an auction in 1910. Irv Krabul's The Sunset Mountain, bought from an auction. A.W. Asterix, Viticus Mine, Max Hervins, A.W. E.W. Information about these paintings is found on the other list. Oh, okay, those are the procured ones. Alright. I'm still at a loss. Now, I can see all of these paintings are slowly going up in age. I can see that. The ones that we have here on the Order is Everything list are not on this list, but they do exist here in the train car. Alright, let's go see if we can identify River Meets the Sea. By what's his name? Viticus Main. That is definitely not River Meeting Sea. Does this look like River Meeting Sea? That might be River Meeting Sea. Yeah, this is the only one that can be River Meeting Sea. So River Meeting Sea is 1901. Okay, what does Hint Vision tell me? Yeah, thank you, I'm aware of the safe. I think it's trying to tell me that at this point I should be able to solve for the safe. Yeah, it's telling me that I can solve for the safe. Although it was kind of... Oh, okay, never mind, it is sparkling up top as well. I was like, it's kind of focusing on a corner, which is odd. Okay. What do we know? We know order is everything. We know that we have some paintings that were procured, so they were kept on a separate list. The only date that we are actually missing from any of these is that first painting that was procured that they sold. However, we don't know when it was sold. We don't know how much it was sold for. We don't know really anything about it other than that it was sold. And we did try both of the years for the one painting, his Ironzo painting. And we know we need a 4-digit combination to get into that save. And considering the only thing we're actually missing, because okay, so here's the other thing, right? None of these numbers actually appear on the main list. Okay, none of them appear on the main list. So if we know which one was bought first, then we could be like the first number of the first one bought, the second number of the second one bought, in which case we would end up with like 1692. But none of these appear on that list. We could even end up with 1851. Bought from an auction in 1910. Unless, just because it was bought, that doesn't mean that's when it was made. Okay, what if we remove from, what if we go with my theory of the first number of the first one bought and go from there? We know that there's not a Joanne Bombas in this cart. We know that there is not a, or there is a Herve Crabolas. There is a Herve, and that is the second one procured. And that is the 1822. And then there's the missing one, which is nowhere to be seen. There's a Viticus mine, the Desert Mountains. We do have that one. That is this 1855 one, which is not on the list. But that was number 4. We could, I mean, oh, I feel like I'm reaching. So it would be 1700, according to my theory. I'm sorry, that just seems like reaching. So 1700. No. Yeah, that I'm like, that couldn't have been right because 0 resets the clock. We could try the 2578. Darn. I was hoping that would be it. Okay, let me try ordering it this way. 1901 is first, which is number 7. So it'd be 7. 1650 is the 8th, so it'd be 7, 8. 1799 was 5, so it'd be then 5, then 2. So let's try 7852. Okay. Go to 0. So 7, 8, 5, 2. Nope. Locked. I'm so confused. I've confused myself. Sunset Mountain. This is not Sunset Mountain. This is Sunset Mountain, 1822. So 1822, I heard Sunset Mountain. This is it. This is Sunset Mountain. And 1822 is on the list. Right there. I guess I'm just not... I'm not sure what connection I'm supposed to be making here. And I'm sure anyone watching this is like, you guys understand and you get it and you see the connection that I'm missing, but I don't understand what connection they're trying to make. Like, order is everything. And I found what paintings those were in association with the list. And I got them ordered in, 1901. That painting is The River Meeting Sea, which is 7th on the list. Because it was procured by AW. So unless I've gotten one of these wrong, that where the river, like, I could have gotten the wrong one. I don't know at this point. I don't know at this point. And then we had this book for some reason, which this book doesn't seem to be doing much of anything for anyone. But it was there. And the game is saying at this point, with these pieces of information, these 4 pieces of paper, we should be able to get into that safe. Like, it is convinced that we've gotten all the pieces necessary to get into that safe, but that safe is still shut. And I'm not seeing, like, I've tried making connections. Oh. I'm tempted to start over. Alright. Blank piece of paper. I am starting over completely from scratch. I am not going to reference my other page. I am not going to do anything except start over from scratch, because at this point that could be what I just have to do. So we have number 1. Oh my gosh, my spelling is going downhill, and I'm like, part of me is like, it doesn't matter, just get it on paper. And then another part of me is like, if I get it wrong, I'm going to have it wrong. 5 is Max. 3 Peaks. So 1921. 6 is also Max. Also 1921. 7 is an AW. 8 is a stick. 1930. And then number 9 is a W. Okay. So now if we look at this, so J.P. Ironzo, 1962, 1749. Neither of those numbers are on this list. We don't have to worry about that at all. That was for a different puzzle. Now we have the paintings that are procured. So a painted ship upon a painted ocean, they had to get rid of. They don't have that anymore. The second one was Viduis's. It was VM's, where the river meets the sea, which they still have. And the third one is unsigned in his private cabin. So I think, again, this is the unsigned one. We have that information. We're not worried about it. So we're looking for VM. And it's one of these paintings. Oh my goodness. Was there only one? I think there was only one VM. Okay, there's a VM 1885 and a VM 1901. Yeah, there was Desert Mountains. And which means number 7 is the river meets the sea. And then that's pretty much all we really got to worry about with that, because we know number 9 is his special painting, and neither of those numbers are on this 4-number list. Then from there, using this list, we're going to go through here. We have Max. Max appears twice, 3 peaks and solitary peaks. So this one's definitely 3 peaks. The 3 peaks was number 5, which was made in 1782. This one is Crab, which is number 2, which was made in 822. And there's only one crab. We come back into here. We have an HB, which is Ocean Sunset and number 8. And that is 1650. Now we have here Max 1799, and it looks like, I think this is the Lone Peak. Yeah, there's Solitary Peak, which is number 6, 1799. Okay. We'll come here. So this is the desert one. Desert Mountains, which is number 4. We got that one. And then we got the 19. All right, that's all of them. It's all of the made ones that are here to look at. Ignoring his special painting. All right, now if we look at this, we have 1901. 1650, 1799, 1822. We know the 1901 is number 7 on the list. We know that 1650 is number 8 on the list. 1799 is number 6 on the list. And 1822 is number 2 on the list. All right, 7862. Let's give that a try. Start at 0, 7, 8, 6. Oh, that did it. I heard a click. I did it. Yay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I guess starting over was That is exactly what I needed to do. Just for comparison, the previous numbers that I had were 2, 5, 7, 8. And now I had 7, 8, 6, 2. Which means originally I had a 5, which became a 6, and then on top of that the order changed. Okay. Awesome. Ooh, money. Oh. A bang bang. Picked up the final key. Oh. Oh, is that it? I only get the 2 oh my gosh. I just wasted the opportunity to like blow up that dude's glass. Okay, we'll just put that back. Now that my fingerprints are... Why even have fingerprint? Yeah, let's just say that I do. I have a version of a fingerprint anyways. The end. I got an achievement. This is a lot of plants. And instantly I'm like, okay, where's the collectibles? Oh goodness, I would totally troll players by not having any collectible. It is very symmetrical. Are we noticing like the symmetry of this? Oh, okay, wrong side. There we go. Oh, flashbang. Ooh. Okay. First class escape the train of thought. The end. Well, that was good. Look, so we made it off the train. No doubt we're gonna get trapped in another puzzle, but we made it off of this one. Oh. Oh, we're back at the beginning. Well, never mind then. We did not make it off the train. It appears we are stuck in a loop, and when I figure out how to get out of this loop, we will do the next puzzle. But anyhow, it was good. It was good. There was a few challenging bits, and I did have to, I will admit, I did have to look up the solution to one of the puzzles, and I am missing quite a few collectibles. I'm not going back for those. There are already amazing guides if you guys need to find those collectibles. But in all, like I was saying, there was a lot of challenging puzzles. I did have one where I had to go get outside help for that by looking up a YouTube video. But everything else I was able to do, and I felt like I actually learned a little bit something. I don't know how accurate it is, but when it comes to like the piano portion, I feel like I know more about the piano now than I did before playing this game. So I'm hoping that information is relatively accurate, because I'm going to be banking on that now. 5 years from now, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I know all about pianos. And they're going to be like, how do you know all about pianos? And I'm going to be like, it came to me in my sleep. Be like, because of a video game. But there's actually been quite a few times where it's like, yeah, that came from a video game. And it's actually like accurate. But okay, enough rambling here at the very end. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, have a positive day. Bye-bye.